First of all, thank you again for joining this webinar here with ATG. Today, we'll talk about a common issue that that some people, some companies may get with their models. But first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Omar Ruiz Miranda. I am part of the technical support team. Many of you have probably already talked to me, or I have helped in some cases, things like that. So I see some familiar names here. So thanks for joining. I've been in the support team with CTC first and then ATG for about 6 years now. One of my main things to work in Revit was the Revit families. I did the manufacturer content creation for a while before support. And now I'm glad that I'm here and had the opportunity to do this webinar to show you one of the things that we can help with and support and what we run into. It's a really nice workflow that I think saves a lot of time and money to a lot of people. So let me go to the first thing here. So what is the issue that we want to do today or show? I don't know if many of you, hopefully you haven't, but if you have, there's sometimes this error that says that the model has too many missing elements. This sometimes could be a really bad thing because even though there are backups or other files, they're still not being able to open with audit or without audit in the project. Sometimes we don't have the older Revit program to open those files. So this issue happens. So let me see what I'm talking about. So I'm not just showing you words here. So one of the things that the ways where you can get this issue with is when you try to open a program. In this case, I'm going to try to open this with audit. Then you'll see the error in a little bit. But not only this part is the issue, is also when we're trying to upgrade models to different versions of Revit. Maybe we have in this case, I'm showing you in Revit 2017. This is the model that I was able to find with this specific issue that I can show it on. But it happens like if I try to go to a different version of Revit 2020, 2021, or something like that, we'll get the same error. So right now it's opening in 2017. And there's that message right here. So at this point, I can no longer open it with audit just to see if there's something in Revit that this audit can fix. The reason for this issue, the error, is usually, let me close this here since we're not able to. And again, if I go to Revit 2021 trying to upgrade it, I will get the same thing. So, but I won't show this right here right now. But let me go back to 17 and see the reason why this could happen. It's probably not clear or completely straightforward what it is. It is most likely that our families in the project, for what we've seen, are corrupted. And why do the families get corrupted? We're not sure still. Some ideas are the family was created in an older version that was just left there and didn't get upgraded through the years with the new versions of Revit. There's also the chance that the family was built poorly, meaning that it was not constrained correctly. Maybe some parameters were badly created, maybe has some issues with the namings, some issues with the reference planes. I don't know, you call it, could be anything in the family that gets corrupted. It's through the years or with the process or on the time that those families suddenly just start giving issues and show corruption. So that may be some of the causes for that. So what is the recommended troubleshooting here? Based on the Autodesk site, it is possible to find something, right? So if you have access to the journal files, if you it's for a specific the year specifically, and this is the location where you can find those journal files. So there's a longer process here because it takes time, and especially when you have a lot of families, it takes longer. So one of the first things they recommend is to open the journal files, do a search for anything that may say missing elements. And then as you can see, you can find some of these things, missing elements. And then this number is important right there. So you have to either copy and paste these ones into a different file, have it handy. And then the other part is if you have a backup file that opens fine for this model, you can use that one and try to recover it from there. If the file opens without audit, like in this case, this file that I'm showing you, it has the issue, but I opened it without audit. So I'm able to access the file. It's just I cannot upgrade it and I cannot audit it. If the file cannot be opened at all, is when then it needs to be sent to Autodesk, because they have these special tools that can be used to recover the file, and it takes a while for them to see the file, to test it, to see what the families are, and fix the issue, and they get it back to you. And again, this right here, we can do it ourselves. As you as a user can verify the journal files. Go and remember those elements or numbers right here. Those are the element IDs. So once you have a list of them, you can simply come to the project and go to manage, and then select by ID and type each one of those, or copy paste, whatever it works better. But it will show you like which family that is. It will highlight it under the properties, and then you'll be able to identify it and go find it. But remember, you have to do this for as many families or missing elements as you can find in the journal files, and it takes a while. You have to find it. The other recommendation in the website for Autodesk is to go to again, if you have a backup file that opens fine, if you have those families and they're open okay, you can open them, export them to a folder, and bring them back to your project here, and then replace them. Somehow that helps somehow refreshing the families, making them new, or taking that corruption away. Again, this is a long process to go through. It's it could work. It's just it takes a while, especially if you have hundreds of families that you don't know. The same process to fix the issues could be what we recommend as well, but the troubleshooting part is what I wanted to mention and go through with you. When we get cases here in support that talk about this specific error, we always send them back a document with the instructions and the how to, basically what I'm trying to show you here. And let me see here. So faster troubleshooting that you can do, or we can do as well, it's we use a free tool from CTC Software called Family Exporter. This tool comes in the BIM Batch suite. And again, it's a free tool. You just have to download the suite and install it. Premium tools, if you like them, you can test them for 14 days. If you like them, you can contact your sales rep and buy them. But the main thing that I want to show is the free tool. So under CTC Software tab, this is the suite that you will be looking for. These darker purple ones are premium tools. Those are the ones that you would need to pay for, but you don't need those ones for this. But in the free tools, you have the Family Exporter right there. Now, how do you get that suite if you don't have it? So you can simply go to the ctcsoftware.com website, scroll down, and then just find the BIM Batch suite, and just say that you want to try it for 14 days. It will ask you to fill some form, and it will give you a link to download it. Once you download it, again, you'll have it available in in Revit 2020 through 2019. So those are the only ones available with the latest version, as you can see right here as well. And maybe this is another topic, but if needed, still like Revit 18 or 17, like I have it, I had to do a workaround or a workflow that allowed me to use still previous versions as is, meaning that the 21.0 or 01.3, I believe, was the latest version there. So I was able to still use that one. However, that doesn't have any more updates anymore. They won't be able to troubleshoot it or clear bugs on it if possible, but still being able to use, and it still works fine for this process. So I don't know if many of you have used this this tool or not, but it's another one to keep in mind and how powerful this free tool could be. All right, so I just want to show you really quickly the process that I would do. First, of course, I'll go and open Family Exporter. And this is a basic and simple interface. There's not a lot to do here. These buttons up here is your regular CTC tools buttons for help, takes you to videos on YouTube. You contact support for this if there's a bug or something, and then the versions that you have here about as the for this tool. You have pretty much the same things here on this drop-down menu. You are able to search specific families if you're looking for one that you know already. This allows you to do that. You can also select by category if you don't want to export everything. You know, this wasn't really created for finding these missing elements. However, back in support, we found out that it was very helpful when we ran it to know what families were in certain projects. At the end, actually this was a process, because first it was giving us like an error every time, like this family cannot be exported and this family cannot be exported. So we worked with CTC. They were able to like say, okay, we're gonna skip all these messages, and at the end we're gonna give you the ones that give you the error. So you know, through the years or through the different versions of the tool, now the report comes out with the families, and this is what I'm going to show you as well. So what I would do is I just select everything, all the categories, and here, as you can see in this specific project, I have 475 families that are going to be exported. Then over here, I get to browse to whatever folder I want to send them to. Obviously, I already did this for my testing because it takes a while, depending on how big the project is, how many families there is. It's going to take a while, and there are some things that you'll need to go and through the process, and you say okay or continue, things like that. You're able to change the folders based on category or different options here. If you want to put some prefixes or suffixes in the families in there as well, you can do that. And anyways, once you're set up here, you have your folder, just hit the export button and then just let it run. And then just watch it once in a while to see what any issues. Like I said, I'm not going to do it right now because it will take us the whole hour probably or more to go through that. So because I already did it, and we can go through that. And some of the examples of errors that we get are these. They're basically just telling us that some of those families are not constrained correctly, or they need to be removed the constraints. You can see some very similar errors there. Some other ones saying that there are some extrusions that are not working correctly. In order to pass that, because all I want is to get to the end to see what the errors are. So I'll just continue saying like, okay, or remove constraints, delete elements, and just get me to the end. And this is what I'm interested in. This message right here is what in this specific project gives me and tells me there are 5 errors and then 471 that were able to be fine. So these families are, in my view, are suspects of being corrupted. But This saved me a lot of time and just trying to find it one at a time in the project browser right here, because I have to go and find the element ID and then see where it is and what we have. So this process right there, depending on how long it takes for your project, it just let it run, and it saves you time while you're doing something else. Well, anyways, now that we have this report that I was looking for, we start looking into what to do next. In this case, under the project browser, you can click anywhere under families. You see, and if you put on top of a family or anywhere, or just families, right click and say search. The first thing that I want to be doing is the first family would be, you can type any keyword there that you see. So like single sink, and then find next. So right away, it took me and highlighted right here, as you can see, the sink that is finding, and that name matches that name right here. So I'm going to go and take a look at it. Why is it doing this? So first of all, you can, a very really quick test, right click this and say edit, and you'll see what happens next. Cannot edit family. This is clear evidence that the family is corrupt. You cannot even manually take it away from here, from this project. So now we found one of the families that is corrupted. The next thing is, how are we going to solve this issue? Because sometimes the families in here are not used, but sometimes they are. So we need to see how we can approach those ones. And at this point, it's up to the company, the users, or the manager, see what they want to do with that. The options are, so right click and say if this type is being used. So an entire project, it goes and finds that sink, and down here it tells me there are 66 instances of that family or that specific type placed in the project. When you see this one, it's going to be difficult for the users to go and find out where everything is. So at this point, one recommendation would be, if you have a similar family, you could simply come here and change the type for another one. Just have that one, pick the other one, replace it, and be done. And that allows you to delete that family without affecting the placement of where they are. The other option is, if you find it and you have your library and that family exists in your library, go and try to open it in Revit directly with an audit in that family, and then resave it. If everything looks good in there, you can reload it back in here in the family. You can simply drag it back, or you can go and say reload, go find where that family is. Sometimes you probably don't have those families anymore. Again, maybe you just downloaded the ones from a website. We don't know where it came from. Maybe it was already corrupted somehow. So it's more of a decision making time there, because you need to see, okay, the only way that I can get my project to be recovered is to delete this family. So do I want to replace something similar, or do I was copied pasted here and it just takes the same name but it just adds the one? So same thing, as you can see, this type name is different than this type name. That's probably why the users were using this other family. Who knows? But all the other instances as well are used. So that's what we need to do, and simply just go and delete it. So the same goes for all of the other families, the same process. Simply anywhere you right click, say search, and you can say, like, let's say the other one, the last one, PTAC, and I found it, but that's not the one I'm looking for. So the next one is not either. And this is finally the one I was looking for. As you can see right here, that's the other family. And same thing, if I go and say edit, it gives me that it cannot edit the family. you could try going through all 475 families individually and try to say, where to go? Try to say like edit or something on that family, but it's not. It's just gonna take you a lot of time to do that. So this free tool is a lot of time saver, and definitely time and money, because you don't want people just sitting there without being able to work on the file. All right, so let me open a project that I'll do this. Let me see. This one is. So I'm gonna open this one. And I'm opening normally. There's no audit with that, so it's gonna open just fine. Just give it a little bit of time here. It doesn't take too long. So once we know this, these are the families. Again, I'm gonna go really quickly to find them and delete them. So all right, so we know that these are corrupted, so we're just gonna go here straight and delete them. It's gonna give you a message that they are being used in instances in the project. That's fine. I'm doing this because you know, I don't know where these families are. This wasn't a project. I just use it for reference and for showing you here. Just gonna delete all these, and then we'll continue to let's search for the other 5 really quickly. Column cover. Here they are. All right, so we have this one, which is this one right here, and then we have the other one right below it. So these 2, delete. And delete. And one more. Okay, that matches the name. That's the one I need to delete as well. Okay, so this now I just need to synchronize my model. And I'm gonna close and reopen. This time I will be opening with audit, so you can see that the issue is gone. It won't give me the too many missing elements at this point. Are there any questions so far while we're going through this? You can comment your questions and answers panel there to let me know. Let me close this really quick. Okay. Well, this is the project that I was doing the presentation with, so that's fine. I'm gonna open the one that we just did. So this one right here with audit. Remember when I tried it at the beginning of the webinar, this was giving me an error. So let's try it again after we deleted those families. Feel free to put any questions there. If you have any, it's very straightforward workflow here. If you have any issues with that in support, send us if it happens that you don't have that old version of Revit, maybe like 18 or 17. Some of us still have it. We can probably run that process for you and support and help you that way when it comes to identify the families. But when it comes to finding what solution you want to take, it will be up to you guys. All right, there's a question. If you cannot open a file with corrupt families, how did you get that error report? That's the one of the things that I mentioned in the beginning. So if we cannot open the file at all with or without audit, obviously we cannot run the CTC tool. At that point, only Autodesk would be the ones with the tools to get that file back in to recover it if it is not very damaged. We've seen sometimes cases where the file is just beyond repair. Autodesk has it. We cannot do anything about this file. It's very corrupt. And probably it's not just families, it's other corruption in the file itself. If you have a model that it is not opening, but maybe you have a backup still that is still opening, you could try to revert to that one and save that time that it takes out of this to get it to work, and maybe redo some of the work that was done the day before, something like that. But yeah, it's if the model doesn't open at all, still let us know. We can help you get a case with Autodesk. They'll take a look at the model itself and see what their tools can do and see if it can be recovered. This method right here is when it opens, and something that you can do yourselves when, if you have this tool, just run it, find the families, and get your team back and running again. As you can see, this file opened without any issues with audit after I had cleared those other families. Previous to this webinar, I tested it in Revit 21, a file that I was testing with yesterday, and it opened just fine again without any errors. So that's the main thing that I wanted to tell you about today, that we run into support, and I wanted to share these experiences, this workflow with you. Again, if you're familiar with this tool, keep it in your mind that is there to help this way, because even though it's free, it's powerful. And if you don't have it, you can always download it for free and continue to use it even after the trial is expired. Let's see. So yeah, basically the solution will be up to the manager, see what they want to replace the family, they want to delete it, or they have one that is working to replace it, to reload it into the project. So let me know if there are any other questions. I think the presentation it touched everything that I wanted to show you today. I'm open here for some questions for a couple of minutes. If not, let me know as well, and we can be done as well. All right. Well, again, I want to thank you again for your time to allow me to show you this process. If there are any questions in the future, don't hesitate to contact us at support@atgusa.com, and maybe I'll get your case. I'll help you with something in there as well. Have a great day.